Hey Tackle Warehouse fans, in this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse, we got a bunch of cool stuff for you. Some Bassmaster Classic releases, another Tackle Warehouse exclusive bait, a bunch of stuff. Let's get right into it. So the first one is a new TW exclusive color in the River2Sea S-Waver. This is a new Tackle Warehouse chrome color. Super cool. Our guys out in Atlanta really wanted this color for fishing Lake Lanier and those blueback herring chasers. They love the chrome baits out there. And River2Sea did a phenomenal job on making this chrome S-Waver for us. Chrome sounds easy, but not always easy to pull off and actually make it look right. And they did a great job on that one. It's only in the 168 size, but perfect for that, that blueback herring fishery if you're chasing those things around. And next up, if you need glide bait and you're maybe somewhere like Tennessee River or down in Texas, places that have big gizzard shad, we have this new Toad Thumper glide, and this thing, I mean, it really looks like a big gizzard shad. I think it only comes in like $34.99, so cost effective. You know, not gonna totally break the bank like some of those $200 glide baits. It's got swiveling hook hangers on that, really nice PKK hooks, and it's a slow sinking bait, and they've got some phenomenal colors. So if you're in one of those places where they really target these big shad that are that size, I wish we had a fishery with shad like that in it. It'd be super cool. You know, you can reel this thing up high in the water column, really work it fast, twitch it, or you can slow glide it. It does just about everything you want it to do. Really cool glide bait there by Toad Thumper. And they've also got a new worm. So this new straight tail worm they got, what's great about it is it's got this little air pocket in the tail. It's actually gonna make that thing stand up, and it's not gonna have just like a weird profile or anything like that. But I think it's gonna be a great one for like your Nico rigs, shaky heads, even Carolina rigs, but just gonna keep that tail pointed upward, and especially, you know, when you're just ticking it along the bottom and your worm's not gonna just lay down on you when you want it on like a Nico rig or a shaky head or something like that. If you have a heavily salted bait like a Cinco or something, your shaky head will just, you know, end up laying on the ground. This one's gonna stay up, tempt those fish into biting. All right, another glide bait here from Smash Tech. This is the Easy Glide, a little bit smaller profile, but still has that kind of, you know, big shad profile to it, but it's just not as big, not a full 8-inch. But this Easy Glide is actually a resin bait. So most of the resin baits that are out there on the market, if you pay attention, your resin baits typically cost over 150 bucks. And this one's coming in at 60 bucks. So what's great about resin baits is that they swim really good, they're tuned, and they're ready to go right out of the package. You have less problems with the baits blowing out, rolling, like you do the ABS plastic bait. What's great about this bait as well is it has a tuning pin in the top here. So the bait comes with 2 different pins, so they have different weights. So one of them makes it float, and then one of them makes it a slow sinking bait. It's got the swiveling hook hangers in it as well, but if you're looking for like an affordable resin bait that fishes really good, so the underwater action of this bait is incredible. I mean, you can chop it super hard, you can absolutely burn it, and it swims really, really nice. So check that one out from Smash Tech. Okay, some new umbrella rigs. So this is from Black Dog Lure Company. They make some really, really nice umbrella rigs. I think we brought in maybe 4 or 5 different options for you. But the heads are really nice. It's kind of that clear plastic with some silver flake in it. But all the components that they're using on these umbrella rigs are super top quality. So it's all, you know, Spro swivels, high quality blades. There's the CPS springs on them. So this is one of their 3 wires, or what they call a 3 hook bait. So it's got the 3 longer ones with the snaps on them to run your hooked baits, and then a couple corkscrews up on the top for your teasers. And then we got this one called the Underdog. So this one, you know, it's like a 5-wire bladed umbrella rig, but with that little underspin blade on there. Kind of changes up your profile a little bit and just adds a little bit more flash, but it's not just your typical umbrella rig. There's kind of more stuff going on up here in the front. Kind of changes that profile up there a little bit of your umbrella rig. Okay, we got a few things from Outkast Tackle. So this is their Jackpot swim jig. If you're looking for a swim jig that's built for, you know, heavy cover, this is going to be kind of a swim jig you want to take a look at. So it's built around a 5/0 VMC heavy duty hook that's got that gray Teflon coating on it, or PTFE, whatever they're calling it. So, I mean, that 5/0 hook is you can go into cover and fish braid and get fish out of cover. I really like the skirts they put on there with that little bit of Mylar flash kind of mixed in, just to add a little detail. Not a lot of companies take the time to add that little bit of flash material into the skirts. Just adds a little bit of body and a little bit of attraction to your swim jig. Really nice jig. And then we have the Chicken Nugget hair jig. This has got a mixture of kind of flash fibers. There's some feathers in there, kind of just a mix of different materials. And I think we have this from 1/4 ounce to 1/2 ounce. To me, it's kind of like an in-between of, most of your hair jigs out there. I mean, that season's coming, right around the corner when people are gonna start fishing out deep and throwing hair jigs out on fish that are schooling and starting to group up on ledges. Most people are throwing, anywhere from that 5/8 to ounce in those big, 8, 10-inch hair jigs. This one's a little bit more compact, just a little bit different profile, kind of an in-between size, but it's not, a tiny, tiny little hair jig, but something really cool. I actually think this would work pretty well locally because we don't have the big giant shad, but something that size would be really fun to fish. All right, from Nomad. Man, we cannot wait to get this stuff off the table. The camera guys are hating it right now with all this Nomad Live Op stuff. The plastic stinks so bad. So good thing for anglers though. So Nomad came out with a whole new series of soft plastics called the Live Op series. This one's called the Cobra Shad, and then they got the Delta Minnow right there. They've got a bunch of different plastics, swim baits, a whole slew of different baits. So mainly geared around towards your live sonar fishing, hence the name of the Live Op series. But what's cool about these is the way you can kind of customize them. So if you put them up in the light, you can kind of see there's a couple of tungsten balls. So each of them comes with a couple of tungsten balls inside the baits. And then they actually sell this system right here, so you can buy more of them and another one of the straws, or you can take balls out of one of the baits and add them to one of the other ones. But there's a bunch of slots there along the back, so you can add more tungsten weights in there, and then you can fish them on like an EWG hook or something other than a jig head, and kind of adjust the weight system how you want it. And the plastic is super tough, but whatever kind of scent they're putting in here is no joke. I will tell you that right now. Those things, whatever kind of fish scent they're putting in there, they're not messing around with it. They did a really good job with it. They've also came out with a couple of jigs. So one of these this is a kind of a smaller finesse swim jig. Got a little bit like a lighter wire hook and kind of a lighter keeper on it. So kind of your swim jig that's gonna be geared more towards, sparse cover, light grass, kind of early season as the grass starts to grow, and you don't need to fish braid and get them out of heavy cover. Nice keeper system on there, hand-tied skirts. And then if you need a jig that's kind of just all around, they made a heavy cover flipping jig, but this would be the one that I would pick up if I was just gonna go down the bank and just flip just about everything that comes in front of me. If you got some brush, a little bit of grass, wood, tulies, a boulder or something, that jig head will do just about all of that. So it's got that kind of a modified like Arky style head with a horizontal line tie, big beefy hook on there, hand-tied skirts, just a bunch of really cool jigs that Nomad came out with this year at the Classic. So we'll slide this stuff down. From Gomexus. So we're now carrying products from Gomexus. So we have replacement handles and replacement knobs. So you can get these, this is an aluminum handle with the TPE knobs on it. You can get it in 100 and 120 millimeter. And we've got different size shafts to fit different size reels. But we also have a carbon handle with cork knobs on it. So a couple options. And then we also sell just the knobs. So if you're happy with the handle length or just the handle that's on your reel, but maybe your dog chewed up a knob or something like that, or it's falling apart, you want new knobs, we have just the knobs in a cork and the plastic material as well. All right, another new company to Tackle Warehouse, we now carrying Cast again. And a couple of things I wanted to point out. So they have these salty tubes, and they sell it all in bulk packs. So, I mean, depending on the size, you're getting anywhere from 20 to maybe up to 25 baits. We have these tubes, a bunch of great colors, obviously loaded with salt, kind of like old school, hand pour style tubes. and you're getting them in a bulk pack. We know the smallmouth anglers love buying stuff in bulk packs because you guys are growing through some baits. So Cast again, got you guys covered. Bunch of great colors, bunch of sizes. Same thing with their Goby jig heads. Anywhere from, I believe, to a 10 to a 12 pack, depending on which size you buy. And they have a ton of sizes. So different size hooks and different size weights to kind of dial in exactly what you need. With that bulbous head on there, it kind of, gets more of that Goby profile inside your tube. But bulk pack of tube heads, I mean, nothing no one doesn't like about that. And then also just the round ball heads. They make these with an owner hook in it, and they've got the screw lock on there. So if you're fishing like a lot of really small swim baits, those screw locks hold your baits on there really, really well. Bunch of cool stuff from Cast again. They make a couple of jigs as well. This thing looks deadly. This is their the Ringer finesse jig. So it's a football shaped head. It's got a hand tied skirt on there. There's not a ton of skirt material. It's super, super finessey. And one thing I did notice is they put the screw lock keeper on the jig. So a lot of companies that are making jigs, there's always just like a lead barb or like a wire, something like that. And with that screw lock, it holds it on there so much better. A light wire hook and no weed guard on it, so don't be throwing it into the middle of grass. But that kind of structure, open cover, open structure, boulder, stuff like that. This is going to be a nice jig to throw. You can even throw it on a spinning rod with that little light hook, little craw bait. Really cool finesse jig from Cast again. And then on the complete opposite end, if you need a heavy covered swim jig, they got one. So they had the Gomexus super line. So it's made with a 5/0 Gomexus super line hook. You cannot flex that thing. So throw it on braid, 20, 25 pound fluorocarbon, throw it into the heavies to cover, got a nice weed guard at the right angle on it, a bunch of really cool colors. But if you need that jig that's gonna go into cover and get fish out, that's the one you wanna grab right there. Last up, new BFS series from Falcon. So this is the Falcon Cara BFS series of rods. We've been waiting a long time for these to come in. And Falcon, it makes some of the best rods in the industry. They have for decades. They make phenomenal rods, and now they're getting into the BFS market. So new bait finesse rods, super lightweight, really nice cork on them, all Fuji components, Fazlite guides and rings, Fuji reel seats. But what I did notice about this series of bait finesse rods, they are, if you compare it across kind of the industry of bait finesse rods, I would say they're a touch on the heavier end of the spectrum, but I think they're gonna be great for like those small reaction baits, like tiny little jerk baits and tiny little crank baits, those small, kind of bait finesse category hard baits. I probably wouldn't throw, the ultra, super, super micro, tiny little plastics and like, couple gram jig heads, like 1.5 gram, those tiny little baits. These are probably gonna be a touch too stiff for that. But those little hard baits, little swim baits, stuff like that, I think is gonna be a great series of rods for that. There's a 611 and a 7.2, great rods there from Falcon if you're looking for a new bait finesse rod. And that is gonna wrap it up for today's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. For more information, click shop or link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most pumped about.